Hello and welcome to another edition of How'd Dad Do? I'm Ray.
And I'm Paul, here in our studio.
And today we're going to take a look at Dad's performance during the summer of 2009 over the wedding ceremony of our brother Scott and the reception that followed, and then the family vacation we all took right after that.
Hell of a lot of fun.
It was a real lot of fun all around, and I think we can say right off the bat that
Dad did one heck of a job.
Dad did pretty well.
Yeah.
But, you know, the devil's in the details.
Satan.
And we're here to take a look at those details. So why don't we kick it off by taking a look at the wedding ceremony itself. What did you think, Paul? How'd Dad do?
You know, I was watching Dad through the ceremony, and I got to say he did a phenomenal job.
Okay.
Watching him beforehand, helping Scott put on the boutonniere beforehand. The guy never would have got that thing without Dad's help.
Oh, Scott would not have gotten that on, no way.
Walks Mom up the aisle, no tripping, no stumbling, smile on his face the whole time.
Outstanding.
I mean, really, just conveying a great strength, energy, and cheer.
Right.
All through the ceremony, you know, I thought he just did great. He really, other than Scott and Sonia, who were clearly the stars of the show, I mean, the guy just really stole the show otherwise.
You know, I'm going to have to substantially agree with you, Paul. He did a very, very good job. I have some reservations. I mean, there was a little bit of chuckleheaded quality when he came down the aisle on occasion. Also, a little bit of droopiness during the ceremony within the pews.
I knew the feeling.
Yeah, that's true. I remember seeing you droop a little bit as well. So, for me, those are a couple of points that come off. Hard to get those points back. So I'm not going to give them full scores for this particular phase of the vacation, but well done overall. Let's go to the grades. So what do you think, Paul? How'd Dad do for the ceremony?
Like I said, no weaknesses, no flaws. He brought his A game. It was a joy to have him there. He was, ruled the roost. A+.
Going with an A+. Very strong. I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go with an A- for the ceremony.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and average that out. A+, A-. How does that work out?
A+.
A+ it is. Let's move on to the reception after the ceremony. Paul, what do you think? How'd Dad do?
Once again, I thought he did fantastic in some pretty challenging situations, really.
It was tough. It was.
Yeah, the guy called upon to do a lot of the photos with the family, with the friends, standing in place, smile on the face. What a trooper. What a trooper. Handled himself phenomenally all through that.
I will say, with the hip and the ankles that he's been through over the last couple of years, all of that standing and photographing, yeoman's effort.
I mean, he's basically coming back from injury, and a performance like that, come back from an injury, I mean, you got to give him credit.
You got to give him a lot of credit.
Right.
Here's the thing that got me with the reception. At one point, I don't know if you saw this, he actually pulled up his shirt and flashed his tattoo.
He showed his tat.
He showed his tattoo of the La Scala Opera House, which is a cool tattoo, and even cooler on a guy his age. But here's the thing: I was there. Nobody asked to see it. He volunteered to show the tattoo.
One of those.
It was one of those. So it was a little bit of check it out. Here's what I got, and so they're kind of borderline.
You know, Ray, I gotta say, didn't see it. Wished I had.
Wish you had.
I gotta give the guy credit for doing something like that on an occasion like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess you kind of ask yourself net plus or net minus as far as the tat flash.
I'm gonna give it a net plus.
You know what? I think I got to go net plus as well. I mean, like, so what? Nobody asked to see it. He's got it. Show it.
Come on.
I like it. I like it. What do you think, Paul? Grade wise, how'd Dad do?
Oh, once again, I've got to give him high marks. I mean, A+, and I got to say, especially also with the food that we had at the reception.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed just really quickly. The pizza appetizers, not to mention the other appetizers, they would not have been eaten if he did not break the ice.
He was
I saw him going in there, breaking the ice, and he continued to break the ice all the way through.
That was outstanding. Very, very good on his part. I mean, I think everybody were happy that he was able to get in there and break that ice.
Would have been very different. A+.
A+. You know, I'm gonna go with an A. I'm gonna go with A for the reception, and that averages out to an A plus minus. Let's go with that. Okay, very good. Moving on to one of the high points of our whole visit over the summer was the getaway to Martha's Vineyard after the reception, day after. What do you think, Paul? How'd Dad do?
Dad did really well, and actually he did phenomenally well, considering that we probably would have all been dead if he had not been so mindful and aware of the problem with the car that we had all through the week.
Mindful is one word. Obsessed is another word.
Indeed.
He was definitely concerned. Possibly, in my opinion, possibly a little bit of over-worrying involved with the car.
It was almost a soundtrack to the experience out in the car where he was constantly hearing the hum, which most of the rest of us didn't hear. But come on.
Yeah.
Give the guy credit for picking up on this thing, which probably would have been catastrophic if he had not picked it up.
It could well have cost us all our lives, and these were lives that he was fairly central to us having in the first place.
Excellent point.
Him being our dad, right?
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
One thing about the Martha's Vineyard thing, for me, again, the attention spent to the Dutch heavy metal band, that was something that got into my head a little bit more than personally I cared for it to be in my head.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Perhaps repressed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a little bit hard to deal with. I mean, you know, a guy of his age, he's a 68-year-old guy, and he's into the heavy metal music, is a little bit odd. 68, right? 60, what is the, it's actually the 5th, it's actually the 15th today.
It's his birthday today.
It's actually his birthday today.
Whoa.
Wow, okay. So, just to get back on track, the with the heavy metal music, I mean, to be a 69-year-old guy into heavy metal music is one thing, but Dutch, did you get him anything? For his birthday?
Yeah, I got him a jar of pickles.
You got him pickles?
Yeah.
Okay, I got him some of those coffee canisters for the
good.
automatic. Yeah.
Those are good.
No, pickles are good too.
Yeah,
pickles are really good.
Maybe we could do something a little bit better than that.
Yeah, that's kind of a little lame.
Kind of weak.
Right. I'm not sure what we could do, though. I mean, do you have any ideas? Maybe put together kind of some sort of video presentation and
like a slideshow,
like kind of a slideshow with a little bit of commentary or something like that.
No,
that's silly.
That's a lame idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got to wrap this show up, and there's only really one way to do that. Happy birthday, Dad!